You've had a number of opportunities likely offered to you. Why the World Food Prize?
Well, first of all, it's the mission of the World Food Prize, an opportunity to really continue to focus on global food security and nutrition security and the important work that it needs to be done around the world, focused on making sure that people understand the challenge and making sure that we're doing something about it. Secondly, it's the great staff. One of the great joys of working is working with people that are committed to the mission. And I think it's fair to say that the team here at the World Food Prize Foundation is very much committed to the mission of elevating the innovation that's necessary, making sure that we're also focusing on inspiring the next generation of young people to be the Norman Borlaugs and the Henry Wallaces and the George Washington Carvers of the future. And that's exciting work, and folks here that work at the foundation do so with a great deal of passion and commitment. And I think the third aspect of this is the opportunity, obviously, to be home in Iowa. This is the foundation's work really focuses and reminds us of the great past agricultural leaders, an opportunity for us to celebrate the present agricultural leadership that Iowa and the Midwest has for the country and the country has for the rest of the world, and an opportunity, again, as I said, to make sure that we're also investing in the future. So it's the mission, it's the people, and it's the opportunity to continue work that I've been doing for the last 20 years as Governor and Secretary of Agriculture, focused on food and nutrition security.
And what would you say are some of your priorities coming in? I know you don't start for another month and a spare change of days, but.
Well, I think I've been asked to challenge myself and to challenge the team here to figure out ways in which we can broaden and deepen the work of the World Food Prize and the understanding around the world of the good work that's being done here. And I think it's also important for me to make sure that Iowans fully understand the unique opportunity that this event presents. There are a lot of things that happen in our state that are really well run and well done. A lot of things that are probably maybe the best in the country. I think of our state fair, for example. But every other state has a state fair. Every other state has athletic events and musical events and theater events and all of the things that happen in a state during the course of the year. But there is only one place in the world and only 1 week and only really 1 day where we celebrate innovation, where we lift up the issue of food and nutrition security so the rest of the world has its focus, and that's here. It happens here in Iowa. So it's an opportunity to really celebrate something that is unique that occurs here in our state, and making sure that Iowans fully understand and appreciate the tremendous gift that the World Food Prize Foundation has given the state by making the decision to be here. Dr. Borlaug's home, obviously, critically important. The Ruan family, with extraordinary support for the foundation, Iowa-based, and certainly the Ruan family has its own incredible history of investment in the state and entrepreneurship. So it's really a very unique opportunity, and I think it's important for Iowans to understand that.
Right. And speaking of Iowans, you are not the first Iowan nor the first Iowan governor to be stepping into a role here at the World Food Prize. What would you say, your time in Iowa politics has taught you, and how will you be using that to forward your mission?
Well, I told Ambassador Branstad that I seem to be following him. I followed him in the governor's office and now follow him in this position. I think the importance of my time as governor, when I campaigned for governor and way back when, I used to talk about making Iowa the food capital of the world. Well, part of making Iowa the food capital of the world is the recognition that takes place every October here in the state, where we bring 1,500 people from all over the world, 50, 60, 70 different countries are represented. An opportunity for us to showcase the state, opportunity for us to introduce to the rest of the world the extraordinary work that's being done in agriculture and food in this state. And as governor, that's what you do. You promote the state. So it's an extension of that kind of work. So when you combine that role and the economic development consequences and the value that this particular foundation brings to central Iowa, you marry that with the work on nutrition and food security, which was part of major responsibility when I had as Secretary of Agriculture. It's a natural flow, if you will, a natural connection to what I've done in the past. And so hopefully I can take the relationships and the knowledge that I gained and a little bit of the wisdom I've gained from that those experiences and bring them to the World Food Prize.
You mentioned food security. Food insecurity has been a pretty big issue locally and globally. What would you say are some of your goals in, helping with food insecurity? We'll start locally here in Central Iowa.
Well, I think there is a tendency sometimes on the part of some of us to think that the issue of insecurity, food insecurity, is someplace else. That it's not our friends and neighbors. It's not in our state. It's in some other state, or in many cases in some other country. It's important for Iowans to understand that we do have a significant number of food insecure Iowans. And so it's incumbent upon us, as being the state that we are and the history that we have, and the humanitarian assistance and help that our state has been known for. I think of President Hoover, for example, during the war, after World War I, and the famine that struck and the work that he did. Extraordinary history that we have in this space. It's incumbent upon us to understand this is happening here at home, and that we have a responsibility as Iowans to step up and try to do something about it and to relieve some of the pressure that food insecurity creates for families, and particularly for children. I think secondly, it's important that Americans understand that it's not someplace else. It's also happening in our country. And we happen to be the richest and most powerful country in the world, and really we ought to be a country where food insecurity, nutrition insecurity doesn't exist. And so a commitment to making sure that people and policymakers understand the important work that needs to be done in that space to alleviate hunger and food insecurity. And then finally, making sure that the United States and leadership in the United States at all levels, not just government, but at the nonprofit world and in the corporate world, understand and appreciate the opportunity that we have as well globally. We have many companies that have global presence. We have many nonprofits that are international in scope. We need to make sure that they understand the challenge and responsibility they have to assist and help in trying to bring these numbers down. We were on the right side of the numbers. We were headed in the right direction before COVID. COVID knocked us back a little bit globally. We're beginning to regain a little traction in terms of reducing numbers. We need to continue that momentum.
All right. And then my last question, sort of focusing here on the World Food Prize, is you are coming back to Iowa. What are you looking forward to about being back in Iowa?
Well, it would start obviously with making sure that my wife and I are in the same place at the same time, enjoying the same things. And then secondly, the opportunity to spend more time with family. Public service is a wonderful life, and I've been honored and privileged to do it, but there are sacrifices that are associated with public service, and oftentimes the sacrifices are the ones that are made by family members. I have just been incredibly blessed by a family that has been incredibly supportive of my career, and so now it's an opportunity for me maybe to spend a little time with the grandkids, maybe take some of the pressure off sons and daughters-in-law as they try to raise a young family in a hectic world. Opportunity for me to enjoy watching the grandkids perform, things like that. That's one thing. And then reconnecting with friends. That's also something that gets sacrificed. When you live in Washington, D.C., and you occasionally get back to Iowa, you're able to touch base with a few folks, but you're not able to have the depth and the breadth, if you will, of the friendships that are so important to a quality of life. So the opportunity to reconnect there. What's not to like Iowa with 50-degree weather in January? I would like to hope this continues.
And then, since I have you here, a few questions just with politics specifically. We are seeing a number of memos and executive orders coming out of this new administration, including stuff about diversity, equity, and inclusion, pulling out of the Paris Climate Agreement, the memo that has now been rescinded about that federal funding freeze. Are you concerned about the future of the USDA with any of those things, and are there any big worries that you have?
Well, one of the great things about having this job is that it takes me a step away, if you will, from the politics of the day. Let me just say that, look, elections obviously matter, and government officials have the opportunity to make decisions and prioritize what they think is important. I tell you, I have a lot of faith and confidence in the people that work at USDA. One of the true joys of working at USDA was to see the passion and commitment of the people, the nearly 100,000 people that worked at USDA, and the broad range of missions that they had and how well they did under very difficult circumstances, whether it's circumstances where budgets get reduced or staffing is not what it needs to be to get the job done. Somehow, some way, they got the job done. You know, a lot of these folks who work for USDA work in small towns and FSA offices. They're conservation folks helping farmers out. They're in food processing facilities, making sure our food's safe. They're on our national forest, doing everything they can to make sure the forest can remain healthy and resilient. And when fire occurs, they are there putting their life on the line. So they're an extraordinary group of people. Many of them are doing amazing research. In Iowa, we have a lot of research that's being done right now on vaccines in terms of the avian influenza epidemic, which has hurt so many poultry producers and impacts and affects egg prices. So the work's going to get done because I just have extraordinary confidence and faith in the people that work at USDA. Priorities may change from administration to administration, but at the end of the day, the commitment of those full-time employees, those career employees, is really, really remarkable. And I really wish everybody who is on the outside of government, who may not see the day-to-day commitment, I wish they could have had the experience that I've had for 12 years as secretary. I think they would recognize and appreciate that, at least as far as USDA is concerned, they're getting their money's worth from the investment.
Wonderful. Do you have anything else that you think is important? I know.
Well, let me just say one thing about the World Food Prize.
Yes, please.
There is I think you asked some of the things I'm focused on and priorities. And one of the other areas I think needs to be addressed is the importance of explaining to folks that this is not just a one and done every October situation. This is a foundation that's busy all year round. This is a foundation that basically has youth institutes that are occurring in a number of states, not just Iowa. Nearly 20 states are now engaging youth in discussing these critical issues. So the word is getting out within the U.S. about the World Food Prize Foundation's work. It's not just limited to the Borlaug dialogues that take place here in Iowa, where there's now the Dialogue Next, which is basically taking a look at the travels and the work of Norman Borlaug and making sure that we go back to places that were incredibly important to his research and incredibly impacted and affected by his research, to be able to have those same kind of dialogues internationally and to get the attention of government leaders, to get the attention of the nonprofit leaders globally about the work of the foundation. So it's a year-round activity, lots of things going on every single day, a lot of activities and events that are taking place here at this incredible place to work, this beautiful facility. So it's important, I think, for Iowans to understand that this is more than just as important as the prize is and the award ceremony. This is a lot more work is going on every single day here at the foundation.